Hi, Dr. Rodriguez. My name is Alex Barker, and today is May 11th, 2022. And today I dissected a sheep's heart. So let's dive in. I'm sure you've seen 100 of these so far. All right, so here's our heart. I'm going to first go over the 3 layers of the heart. So this outside layer, this is called the epicardium. Epi, outside, cardium, heart. Epicardium is this outside layer of the heart. Then as we move into the heart, as you can see, this bulk portion here, this big meaty portion, this is called the myocardium, and this is where all of the heart muscles reside. So this is where we get to the gap junctions, desmosomes, transmitting of all the electricity. This is the myocardium. Now, going into the inside here, this is one of the ventricles. The inside layer is called the endocardium. And since I have this open here, let me just really run through these little guys, these strings. These are called chordae tendineae, and these are actually called the heart strings, and these are what open and close the valves. Side tangent. Okay, let's go back. So, as we're looking at the heart this way, this is the anterior aspect of the heart. If we flip it around this way, this is the posterior aspect of the heart. So as it resides in our bodies, it will look most like this. Anterior, posterior. This right upper quadrant from the outside, we have the right atrium, right ventricle, then we get the blood circulating through the lungs, come back into this left side, which is the left atrium, into the left ventricle, which actually takes up a bulk portion of the rest of the heart. And then it shoots the blood out through the aorta. So that's the outside. From the inside aspect, that's what we'll talk about next. So for the right atrium, we will start back here on the posterior aspect of the heart. So this right here is called the superior vena cava, and this is where most of the blood pools before entering the right atrium. I'm going to take my blunt probe and we're going to go through here just like so. As I open up the heart, my blunt probe ends up into the right ventricle. And the right atrium and right ventricle are separated by the valve, by the tricuspid valve. Now, from the right ventricle, then we have the pulmonic valve that goes all the way, that shoots the blood into the lungs to be reoxygenated. Then we get that oxygenate blood with oxygen, then comes back through to this part of the heart, and this is the start of the left atrium, this little hole here. Now the blood will get pumped back through here, and as I then stick my probe into this part of the heart, we end up in the left atrium. And then the left atrium then pumps into the left ventricle, just like so. And this valve here, this is the mitral valve, also known as the bicuspid valve, and it separates the left atrium from the left ventricle. Now, down here, this big portion here, that's the left ventricle. Like we said, it's the biggest of the 4 chambers. And the reason is because we have to get all that heart muscle to squeeze and pump to all the blood throughout the rest of our body. And the right ventricle shoots out through the aortic valve, which then ends up in the aorta, which is this big giant valve, this giant tube here. All right, a few other things I want to touch on is this big chunk of heart meat here is the intravicular septum, and this separates the right side of the heart from the left side of the heart. And that's it for my presentation today. Hope you enjoyed the sheep heart dissection. And one more thing. We have the coronary arteries. So this right here, this is a coronary artery, and this actually, so the heart gets blood to pump to the rest of the body, but the coronary artery pumps the blood that the heart uses to function through this right here, and that's the aortic artery. Okay, now I'm done. We'll see you next week, Dr. Rodriguez. Goodbye now.